What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I am back with another video. With this time once again, I'll talk about the 2022 NBA season and the MVP frontrunners. And more specifically, I want to look at the one superstar who I think fans as well as the media are shortchanging in these debates. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Now, when talking about the 2022 MVP, I will say it's a very packed race, and you could argue there's 5 players who are very deserving of winning the award. But right now, the main 3 names I'm seeing are Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, as well as Nikola Jokic, and sometimes LeBron James. The one player I rarely see and gets very little mention is Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning Finals MVP as well as NBA champion. And I think for Giannis, once again, just like before the championship, he's become underrated, undervalued, and the media rarely ever talks about him. And to a certain extent, I understand it. Giannis plays in Milwaukee. He's not exactly the most flashy player in the NBA. He doesn't shoot threes, and his playstyle could be dubbed boring. Now, even with that being said, I think Giannis, the 2022 season so far, is the MVP frontrunner in my own personal book. As you guys know, for me, what it means to be an MVP in the NBA, you have to have top tier stats, your team has to win, and your overall value has to be very noticeable. Giannis so far checks all those boxes. And purely looking at the stats this year, I think NBA fans are once again sleeping on Giannis. He's averaging 28 points per game, the 3rd highest in the NBA, 11 rebounds, that's 7th, 6 assists, that's 3rd for non-guards, and 1.5 blocks, which is 10th. And when he's playing for Milwaukee, they have a 58-win pace, which would be 1st in the Eastern Conference. So looking at Giannis' stats, overall value, I think it's pretty clear right now he's having a top-tier MVP season. So the big question I have is, why is Giannis so slept on? Is it because he's from overseas, he's a big man? Why is Giannis always undervalued? Even after his Finals MVP, the same things happened in 2022. And I think for NBA fans in particular, the quote-unquote face of the league, it's still LeBron James, and I think Steph Curry is a 1B. I don't think those players are the best 2 players in the NBA, but I think from marketing perspective, overall popularity, being the Warriors and Lakers, those 2 guys are the marquee players in the NBA. Even someone like Kevin Durant, who has a big fan base, he's not on that tier as Steph Curry or LeBron James. And for Giannis, he's 1 tier below KD, possibly even 2. Why that is, I don't really know, but once again, Giannis is heavily slept on and underrated. And once again, when looking at an MVP, a lot of fans say he's purely the most valuable player in the NBA. So looking at value-based stats, Giannis this year, he's 2nd in win shares, 2nd offensive win shares, 5th in defensive win shares, 2nd in box plus minus, 3rd in offensive box plus minus, and 3rd in defensive box plus minus. In every value metric advanced stat, Giannis blows it out of the park. And even with that being the case, he's rarely ever mentioned in the top 2 for MVP voting. Now, as you guys know right now, we're roughly halfway through the NBA season, and MVP talks are going to heat up big time, I would say in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And we're looking at the Bucks' schedule right now. They've won 6 straight games, and Giannis is playing fantastic. And over the next week and a half, they're going to play Brooklyn as well as Golden State on primetime TV. My prediction for those games, Giannis is going to ball out, and Milwaukee's going to win both those games and have a 10-plus game win streak. And I think by mid-January, Giannis is going to be a clear-cut MVP frontrunner. That's why I'm making this video right now, to kind of get ahead of it and push my narrative for Giannis being the MVP. As once again before the year, I picked him to win the award the 3rd time in 4 years. And hypothetically speaking, let's say Giannis, he wins the 2022 MVP. Over the last 40 years in NBA history, there's only been 2 players ever to win the MVP after winning the Finals MVP the previous year, that being LeBron James as well as Michael Jordan. If Giannis wins this year, which I think he will, he'll join that elite club with those 2 other all-time great players. And I think for a legacy standpoint, winning 3 MVPs in 4 years he once again joins elite company, guys like Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Jordan, Magic, even LeBron James. From a legacy standpoint with accolades, a third MVP between rare air and top 20 or even 15 status. I'm not going to crown Giannis yet, I'm just saying a third MVP does a lot for his resume as well as all-time ranking. So with that being said, let me hear your guys' comments below. Who do you think is the 2022 MVP frontrunner? Right now I have Giannis, with KD being a close second. I think Jokic right now, he's not really in contention. He's been great stats-wise and watching him is always a joy, but for an MVP season, I don't think it's going to happen. And even for Steph, he's not having a Steph-type season like last year. He's still been great, don't get me wrong, but from a transcendent standpoint, he hasn't been 2016 or even 2021 Steph Curry. And even throwing LeBron in the mix, over the past month, he's averaging like 38 points per game, but his team is simply not winning games. And to be MVP, you have to win 50 plus games 95% of the time. And the Lakers, unfortunately, aren't going to do that this season. Now with that being said, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.